guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Anaya Wilson. And today I will be talking to you guys about the 21 things that I have learned in my 21 years of living. I have a little bit of wisdom for a 21-year-old, and I feel like since I have it, I might as well just share it with you guys. And this is my first YouTube video ever that I'm posting, so I'm super excited. My birthday was last week. You are a Sagittarius. Happy freaking birthday to you. We're sexy Sagittarius. I want to talk to you guys about some things that I've learned the last 21 years of my living. Let me get my kombucha. 21 things I've learned by 2022. The first thing that I learned is to not take things so serious, especially interactions when it comes to negative people. Everyone is going through their own things. You never know what someone's going through behind closed doors. Could have just had a really bad argument with someone that they love and just be in a bad mood. Sometimes a lot of times people project what they're going through and their experiences, and they project it onto people who don't deserve it. Unfortunately, that is the way that things happen, but you just have to understand that most of the time it's not even your fault, and they're gonna do that regardless if it was you or someone else. So learn to not take things so serious, because people are gonna be mean to you sometimes, but it just is a reflection of them, their own insecurities, their own projections, and it has nothing to do with you. If you ever read the 4 agreements, one of the agreements that he says is don't take things too personal, and it's really true, because everybody, he says, is living in their own personal dreams and their own world. It could just be like someone could just be mean. You can't take that personal because it has nothing to do with you, but that's just them, because they're gonna be mean to every single person. And if you let that affect you, then you're just gonna honestly be miserable, and you cannot live your life like that. 2 is, oh my goodness, breath work. Literally, whenever you're feeling overwhelmed, anxious, tired, breath work. Sometimes you get shaky and you just have so many thoughts going through your head at once. Breath work, like 3 deep breaths. I just feel like that just changed my entire mood. Sometimes I have a lot of things going on in my head and it gets overwhelming for me. To prevent that, breath work gets my blood flowing, kind of just eases all the nerves and all the anxiety that I'm causing on myself. Number 3 is to listen to your body. You have to listen to your body when it comes to the amount of rest that you need, if you need to go outside in nature, eat healthier, or sometimes you need to take it easy, and sometimes you really should be going hard. Your body has different periods of time where it can take more or it can take less. And life is all about balance, so sometimes you could be in the mood to eat completely healthy, but if you want to splurge and eat a bunch of pizza, that's fine too. You're human. You're gonna want to do things that make you feel good, and that's normal. You cannot judge yourself or be so hard on yourself. You have to just make sure that you're doing what your body needs. Listen to your body, know what you need, and know what you don't need. Number 4 is to watch your mouth. Be aware of the way you speak of others. Understand the way that you judge others so harshly, the way that you judge yourself. Projection is real, and you're in your own world which receives judgment in that sense. You like speaking highly of yourself. I had really bad acne, such bad acne for such a long time. It was just like speaking so horribly to myself. I'm like, you're so ugly, I can't even look at you. Such terrible things. Like if someone said to me, I would actually fight them. I'm gonna have to fight you. Why do you think that you could speak to me like that? But I was saying those things to myself, and I was thinking that it was okay. Every single thing that you say manifests into reality. I had to completely change the way that I spoke to myself and try to really be careful about the things that you say to yourself and the way that you judge others. The way you talk about other people is a projection of your mindset, morals, and the person that you are. Speak love, give respect, be nice to people, speak happiness over everyone's lack, because the things that you say have so much power. That's a clear reflection of the person that I want to be and my higher self. So much power of the tongue. I'm sorry, I'm childish. There's so sorry. Next. Number 5. I am a strong advocate for getting your body moving. Stretching and bodily movement is the way for you to clear your head. Sometimes when you're feeling stuck, you have all this pent up energy. Working out can really just give you such a great release that you didn't even know that you needed. Even just stretching, moving your body, getting those knots out, your body holds in so many emotions. I did yoga this morning. We were doing a really good hip stretch. I just felt so relieved after. And it was like you hold so much emotion in your hips, in your neck. So just getting that out and just getting your body moving, getting that blood flowing, and to stimulate your brain and just make you overall feel better about yourself. If you're gonna look better, but it's gonna help you build up your confidence. I'm going to the gym, I'm seeing the results, and I'm really feeling good. Number 6, be aware of the way you feel when you leave a certain situation. You ever go out with like a group of people you're not really familiar with, and you leave and you're just like, I'm not doing that again. You can't put your finger on it. You just don't know. It doesn't feel right. Trust your intuition. Your gut feeling is always right. And I think people try to fight between their intuition. No, but they seem cool. No, they're not. showing you that they're cool, but they're not. You really have to listen to your intuition, because your intuition never lies. Even if it's your friends, be aware of the way that you feel. You feel drained, you don't feel inspired, you need to get new friends. When I leave my friends, I'm like, wow, like I feel so loved, I feel amazing, I feel so happy, and I feel so light. And it was like that energy and that frequency just made me feel so good. If you feel like you left the group of people that you just hung out with, you feel so small and you just don't feel good, inspired, and you want to get shit done, that's a big red flag, and those people are probably not meant for your highest self. Your gut wants you to be your highest self. It was gonna tell you something's not right. Number 7 has to be like one of the most important things that I've learned this year. Stop asking people's advice. Literally, as humans, and we trust other people's opinions more than we trust our own. Make decisions for yourself. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad, but you learn from it. Everything is just going to shape you into the person that you're supposed to be, which is your higher self. Every experience has just been elevating you. If you want to look at it like that, it's a lesson or a blessing. Boom! Hello, that was pretty good. But you literally need to stop asking people's advice. Like, don't take relationship advice from someone who's not in a relationship that you admire. The only time I say to take advice from people is when they live the life you admire, or people take advice from like people who don't really want the best for them. And advice is gonna really be detrimental to your career, your lifestyle. So learn to trust yourself. Like when it comes to choosing an outfit, I'm sure you call your friends like, oh, do you like this or do you like this? Which one do you think? Well, I like this one, but since you like this one, I'll wear it. No, if you like it, wear it. It doesn't matter if someone else likes it. You shouldn't be living your life for other people. If you like the shoes and the other person doesn't like it, shucks on them. They're not the ones wearing it. Literally. Listen to yourself. Do things for yourself and not for other people. What is number 8? Sometimes people's advice might not apply to you and works for them, but it doesn't mean you have to apply what worked for them to you, because your own journey is your own journey and it is never the same. Even if someone is living the life that you want, it could give you the most amazing advice. And it could have worked for them. Got them the career that they wanted, every single thing that they wanted. But giving you that advice and you try to take it and do things exactly strategically the way that they did it, that's not going to work out for you because you have a different personality. You have different looks, different passions. Just you're different in a beautiful way. Find what works for you. And really listen to like, okay, well that worked for them, but that's the person that they are. And realize like that's not who you are. You have to be yourself authentically. And when you live in your authenticity, that's gonna get you further in life because you're doing it passionately, doing it naturally, and it just feels like second nature to you. You're not gonna make anything feel forced. You can only force something for so long. Number 9, take a walk in the park. Try it, I promise, you're gonna feel so fulfilled. Walking, just first of all, like I said, get your body moving. Nature, just so calming. I love going for walks in the park. I'm that person. I'm gonna go sit on a park bench, get my journal, and I'm gonna write for like hours. It's a serene feeling. Like go for a walk, birds, look at the sunset. Like a breath of fresh air just takes over me when I'm outside. Like we are nature. Just being grounded is so centering. And I recommend going for a walk. If you can, every day, 3 times a week, at least getting some fresh air. If you can't go for a walk, at least try to open your window. Going for a walk and doing breath work, oh my goodness. That is like the most iconic duo ever. I swear to God. Number 10, someone told me to stop looking in the mirror so much. That was very powerful for me. Really on the phone, just like, oh my goodness, this isn't turning out right. Like, this isn't the way that I wanted it to look. I'm so mad. Like, I don't look the way that I wanted. And they were like, just stop looking at yourself so much. Because sometimes we critique ourselves so hard, the smallest things. Being so hard on yourself. Like, everything isn't based off of look. You have to go deeper than that. Like, my mother always told me, you cannot be only a pretty face. Like you have to have some sort of substance. People are not gonna like you. And it's not about people liking you. It's just about being a good person and making other people feel good or make them feel better about themselves, happy, loved, or peaceful. You can't just be a pretty face. If you are a beautiful face, have a terrible soul and bad intention, you do things with a malicious intent, and you're just not nice to people, that's gonna get you nowhere. Stop looking so hard in the mirror at yourself and learn that external looks are not as important as people make them out to be. Have you ever went out with someone who you thought was super good look, and then you talk to them and you're like, yeah. Or they're just mean to people? What are you being mean for? Just so unnecessary. A little bit of your love tonight. Number 12 is life works in cycles, and there's gonna be ups and there's gonna be downs. Like healing isn't just a forward up journey. Sometimes you feel great and sometimes you're like, damn, I feel like shit. But that's okay, because once you're down, only way is up. When you're up consistently, you're like, oh, things are great. One thing goes bad, what? You don't know what to do with yourself. Struggle builds character in a beautiful way if you are ready to learn the lesson that God is willing to show you, right? Number 13 is to learn your purpose in life by doing things that come as second nature to you. This also helps you build confidence. Doing things that make you feel good, getting a hobby. Find your purpose in life by doing things that feel natural. Number 14, ask yourself deep questions to understand the meaning and the patterns that you have. We're humans. We are fucking creatures of habit. Our relationships are patterns. The way we react to things are all patterns of the way that we have learned. We're all conditioned to think a certain way by our parents, society, the way that people portrayed us. You have to ask yourself deep questions to get to the root of why you are the way that you are. Like, why did I react that way? Or, why do I think this about myself? Shadow work is huge. You can go on TikTok, they have a bunch of shadow work prompts that you can write and journal about. But learning about yourself and the way that you do things, asking yourself questions is like the key to enlightenment. 15 is to find a creative outlet. I grew up with this thing in my church called Missionettes, and every single week, it was all the little girls in the church. We would paint, do arts and crafts, literally knit. I made skirts, I used to crochet, things that kept our creative outlet going. I had that foundation of it growing up, and just find a way for you to be creative. Even if it's getting a coloring book. For me, journaling is also a creative outlet. It's a way for me to get all of my thoughts and put them on paper, get out into the universe, and having it not be stuck all in my head. Show yourself through your art. Find a way to represent yourself through art. It could be whatever you want. You don't even have to share it with the world. Just find a way for you to creatively express yourself. 16. This goes into number 15, which was the creative outlet. Dance it out. Honestly, for me, I love dance. Like, dancing is just like a way for me to just be like, bah, bah, bah. I don't think that I'm the best dancer, but I could, do a little something. Like, dance it out. When you're standing in your divine femininity, creativity is so important. You learn how to just be free and let go. Dance it out. Number 17, be aware of the foods that you consume so that you do not let it consume you. You know when people say like you are what you eat? It's true. Your gut health is directly linked to your mental health, and if your gut is full of shit, then I hate to say it, but so are you. Let that soak in for a little bit. You have to eat healthy. Feed your soul. Even if it means cutting out certain things, you're eating it in moderation, and you're gonna feel like a complete, just different person, to be thinking about things differently, to process your emotions differently. Foods that we eat have a lot of hormones, which could really affect our day-to-day behaviors, and food is fuel. Eat whatever you want. That is completely fine, but do it in moderation. Listen to the way that your body feels after you eat a certain meal. Terrible foods that are not gonna make you feel good after you eat them. Be aware of the things that you put inside of your body. Number 18 is to not let your distraction I'm gonna rephrase this. Anything that's preventing you from doing things that will benefit yourself is a distraction. Like, I'm easily distracted as well, I'm not gonna lie. Just be aware of things that are distracting you from your higher self. Unhealthy friendships, unhealthy relationships, that's a distraction. Social media, distraction. Be more aware of the distractions that are placed around you. Number 19, learn something new. Learning something new builds up your confidence and expands your thinking. Like, read a book a day, listen to a podcast a day, try to learn something new about yourself. There's so much information out there, those apps that'll be like, oh, cool fact of the day, or read a newspaper or something, learn a new stretch, something that'll make you feel like you learned something new. It doesn't even have to be like a big thing. Ask somebody that you don't know a question about something that they like. That's knowledge that you didn't know before that could benefit you for whether your next interaction with someone else. You never know. Number 20, don't do anything with a malicious intent. My mom always told me this growing up. Things with love and like do things gracefully. Like, you should never go out of your way to make someone else feel bad. If you do that, it means you don't have enough love in yourself to be able to give. And that's what you should work on loving yourself more so that you have enough love to give to people. You can make other people feel good. Sometimes you're not gonna make everybody feel good, and that's okay. But as long as you try to be a good person, try your best to just do things with love. Be nice to people. A simple smile or a compliment, you don't know how it can impact them. It can go a long way for somebody. Think like, let me give something today. Let me give love. Because that's a reflection of who you are as a person. It can make their whole entire day. Well, you literally never know. Give love, guys. Oh my gosh. Ugh. Last thing is, this was honestly for me, time is always working in your favor. Just because things aren't working out in the favor of your timing does not mean it's not working at all. Good things take time, while all great things take time. Know that each moment is for you, and you should appreciate that every single second that you're breathing and alive. Now, I need to take that own advice for myself, and I wrote that down because I needed to hear that. Sometimes you're not ready for a certain thing, and God knows that you're not ready. You think that you are, but you're not. God will not give it to you until He knows for Himself that you're ready to be able to handle that. If He gives it to you when the time that you're not ready, you're gonna fumble the bag terribly. You don't want to mess up an opportunity for a lifetime because you're not ready for it. So good things take time, and you're supposed to learn about yourself try to just live day by day. My anxiety sometimes goes through the roof. Get really overwhelmed by just putting all these like limitations on yourself because it's not working in your timing. But just understand that it is. One day you're gonna look back and be like, wow, okay. And that's why this happened. Because God was trying to redirect you to something that is gonna elevate you or teach you a lesson. Sometimes that's all it takes. You go through things to learn about yourself. Every single experience in life is here to teach you a lesson. It's gonna help you evolve, whether you thought that experience was good or bad. And if you just ask yourself, okay, what did I learn from this? You are going to literally grow so much by asking yourself, what did I learn from this? What did I learn about myself? If someone gets you upset and you're like, okay, what did I learn about myself? I learned that I need to stop giving my energy to people that are gonna make me feel drained. Or I need to learn that I need to be more aware of the things that I say. Just being aware and like really understanding that timing is always working in your favor and that nothing is working against you in the universe. You're here to win, evolve, grow, and it might look different for everybody. Everyone's journey is different. Understand that your timing is divine. Every single breathing second that you have to practice gratitude and be grateful for the things that God has been teaching you throughout your life. Things don't happen overnight. You might not be ready for the blessing that you're gonna receive, but in due time, once you look back, you're gonna be like, wow, I'm so grateful that God did things the way that he did, because like every single lesson has molded my mindset and programmed me to understand so much about myself and the way that I approach certain situations, the way that I talk to people, the way I talk about myself. Every single thing is here to teach you something, and you have to be grateful for every experience as it is. That is it for today's video. Thank you so much for even watching. If you're watching up to this part, my goal is to make other people feel good and just make people smile, share some knowledge. And even if you took one thing from this video, then that's gonna make you feel better. I really hope that you take it and run with it. I hope that you learned something from this, because I learned a lot about myself just sitting here talking about it, and the things that I was saying just really came from the heart. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel on my Instagram and my TikTok. I'm gonna put right here on the screen for you guys. And check me out on those social medias. Like, comment, and subscribe. This is what we say. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys.